St. Augustine lecture on the Gospel of St. John, Tractatus 3 following. If then there is one wanting to fulfill, whence does he not fulfill? Because born with the heritage of sin and death, born of Adam, he drew with him that which was there conceived. The first man fell, and all who were born of him from him derived the concupiscence of the flesh. It was needful that another man should be born who derived no concupiscence. A man and a man to death and a man to life. Thus says the Apostle, since indeed by man death, by man also the resurrection of the dead. By which man death, and by which man the resurrection of the dead? Do not make haste. He goes on to say, for as in Adam all die, so also in Christ shall all be made alive. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 21 to 22. Who belong to Adam? All who are born of Adam. Who to Christ? All who were born through Christ. Wherefore all in sin? Because no one was born except through Adam. But that they were born of Adam was of necessity, arising from damnation. To be born through Christ is of will and grace. Men are not compelled to be born through Christ, not because they wished were they born of Adam. All, however, who are of Adam are sinners with sin. All who are through Christ are justified, and just not in themselves, but in him. For in themselves, if you should ask, they belong to Adam. In him, if you should ask, they belong to Christ. Wherefore, because he the head, our Lord Jesus Christ, did not come with the heritage of sin, but he came nevertheless with mortal flesh. Death was the punishment of sins. In the Lord was the gift of mercy, not the punishment of sin. For the Lord had nothing on account of which he should justly die. He himself says, behold, the prince of this world comes and finds nothing in me. Wherefore then do you die? But that all may know that I do the will of my Father, arise, let us go hence. John chapter 14, verse 30 and 31. He had not in himself any reason why he should die, and he died. You have such a reason, and do you refuse to die? Do not refuse to bear with an equal mind your desert, when he did not refuse to suffer to deliver you from eternal death. A man and a man, but the one nothing but man, the other God-man. The one a man of sin, the other of righteousness. You did die in Adam, rise in Christ, for both are due to you. Now you have believed in Christ, render nevertheless that which you owe through Adam. But the chain of sin shall not hold you eternally, because the temporal death of your Lord slew your eternal death. The same is grace, my brethren, the same is truth, because promised and manifested. This grace was not in the Old Testament, because the law threatened, did not bring aid, commanded, did not heal, made manifest, but did not take away our feebleness. But it prepared the way for that physician who was to come with grace and truth. As a physician who, about to come to anyone to cure him, might first send his servant that he might find the sick man bound. He was not sound. He did not wish to be made sound. Unless he should be made sound, he boasted that he was so. The law was sent. It bound him. He finds himself accused. Now he exclaims against the bandage. The Lord comes, cures, with somewhat bitter and sharp medicines. For he says to the sick, bear. He says, endure. He says, love not the world. Have patience. Let the fire of countenance cure you. Let your wounds endure the sword of persecutions. Were you greatly terrified, although bound? He, free and unbound, drank what he gave to you. He first suffered that he might console you, saying, as it were, that which you fear to suffer for yourself, I suffer for you. This is grace and great grace. Who can praise it in a worthy manner?